All right. Hi, everyone. I'm just recording now. It is our team call. It is December 2nd already. And my name is Cristine Finck. And we want to talk about, at least I want to talk about right off the bat, you guys know Hammer and Chisel launched yesterday. I sent out a bunch of stuff. I'm sure you guys are aware of what's going on with that new program. But two things I definitely want to point out so that everyone is aware of is that the challenge packs, which is new, are both on sale for $160, normally $180, and that's going to be through the entire month of December. So those are great promotions for anyone on the fence of thinking about Shakeology. Shakeology is $130. For $30 more, you can get an entire 60-day program, 12 DVDs, and especially if anybody liked the 21-day fix or liked Body Beast, you've got two of those trainers in it. So tons of information.
Does it come with the containers?
It comes with the containers. Everything comes with the containers. So even if you just buy the program and don't get the challenge pack, you still get the containers, which I think is awesome. And they're giving you a guide to adjust. So if you want to lose weight or gain weight, because maybe you want to build muscle and build it more that way, they're going to guide you. So everything comes with a set of containers. The deluxe version actually comes with two sets, which is really nice. So if you want to kind of prep more or have some on the to-go kind of thing, but I think that's huge. Those are on their own.
I think they're like
20?
24 or something. It's kind of...
Yeah, actually, I think it's $30 if you just want the containers. That comes with extra containers, and then if you get it with the recipe book, it's like $35. So it's a great combination and great bargain overall for sure. So I always like to promote those challenge packs for anyone that's getting Shakeology or thinking about it, because it's only a few dollars more, and you get this whole extra set. Yeah, even if you only wanted the portion control containers, you want to go give Hammer and Chisel as a Christmas gift, I mean, what a great idea there if you didn't want to use it for yourself, because you do get the portion control containers. But the new thing that came down with it, and I don't know if you guys have realized, Becky, you probably haven't, you just joined a few days ago, so this is all like
I have no idea what's happening.
So welcome, number one.
Welcome.
Coaches, new coaches, thank you. Normally a challenge pack, and you've purchased a challenge pack before, so I know you know this. It's a program plus Shakeology, a 30-day free trial to the club membership. But what they're offering now with this new performance line that just came out at Summit, so in June over the summer, they have this new performance line for a pre-workout, a post-workout, energize, recovery. They have hydrate, that's sort of like a good Gatorade, is how I would say it, a healthy Gatorade. And I've used that myself. I love it. It doesn't taste much, like you're used to the Gatorade where it just splashes you with sugar and everything else. No. And then creatine. But the performance line in the challenge pack comes with Energize, which is pre-workout, and Recovery, which is post-workout, a month supply. And that will still count for your Success Club. That will get you the 2 points for Success Club. So just as if Shakeology. They're both going to be on home direct, so people can cancel if they want to. They can continue if they want to. But I love this idea, especially with something like P90X, this Body Beast, or the Hammer and Chisel, where it's more, I think, for our strength training type people.
The recuperation for your muscles.
Yeah, and some people, as much as you not preach, but I guess I do preach, because I love Shakeology and it's done so much for me personally. And as much as I share that with people, some people still just don't get it. But those same people might get a pre or post workout thing. Maybe they're always they're bench pressers, they're leg lifters, and they're sore. Well, recovery is going to be a great option for them. So maybe we can tailor something better to those type of people. So I just think Beachbody gave us one more option.
So you're saying that's the deluxe?
No, that's a regular challenge pack, and it's either challenge pack with Shakeology or challenge pack with performance line.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. So you can pick one or the other. I
And one
got
or the others to suit what they want. Those are both 160.
it. Okay.
The deluxe is this base program plus you're getting 4 extra workouts, you're getting a medicine ball, and an extra set of portion control containers. So, and you can find this all in your Coach Online office if you look at the FAQs. And I know I shout out some stuff in our Coach's Corner for you to look at, and emailed you some stuff too on it. So, but the FAQs in your Coach Online office for any of this type of stuff, that's where to look. Any questions on it, it's going to show you. Or go to your own site, beachbody.com, go to Coach, and you can pull up and see, okay, hey, this is what's actually in that. But our Coach Online office has tons of information that'll say, this is the difference between the two, and all that stuff. But I think if you guys look at your emails and you had a chance, or go to the Coach's Corner group, I tried to spell that out. Of course, if somebody doesn't want the challenge pack, they can get the base kit or the deluxe kit separately. So what I shot out today, and I don't know if you guys had a chance to see it, but I did an email to all of anyone that's ever purchased anything from Beachbody from me, including, any of the free customers that I've earned over time. So I always, if I send something to those guys, I always send it to you too, so you have an idea what I'm doing. Copy it, tweak it a little bit, shoot it out to your people. You're free to take anything that I do, always. Just make it yourself a little bit. But so I said, hey, you guys are my existing customers, and I offered a $25 Target gift card if you got a challenge pack, and $15 if you bought a base or deluxe kit. So
I saw that.
I may not do that to the whole world, but to people that are already maybe in one of my groups. So, and that's not something I do all the time either, but on the launch, within a launch couple of days, I think it's a good promotion, and it gets people a little bit more excited, and you never know what sticks in their head and what doesn't. You kind of sort of like the you throw it against the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah.
And you figure it out as you go. And sometimes some months stick and sometimes they don't. But trying. Any questions on hammer and chisel?
Nope, I was online today with Beachbody and looking at all that information today.
One more tip I have on that, I'm definitely buying it. 100%. I'm in on this starting in January. So I'm going to personally be doing that in my January challenge group, the Elite Get Fit group, or whatever I happen to call it, that next month, which you guys know, you can add your people into it until you're comfortable doing them on your own. But I'm going to be promoting it all the month of December to try to get people to jump on board with me.
I'm ordering it tomorrow, hopefully, payday. And then I have it in my calendar because I was going to sign up for the Masters Challenge through Beachbody. Also to help, hey, this is not just your challenge. This is also my challenge. I also have goals to have to deal with.
Awesome. So yeah, I think the sharing that you're doing it, I love the idea of doing a program, and if you're not doing it specifically, I think it's good to explain why. Like, I know, Becky, you're a runner, so you might not be doing the program beginning to end. You might be incorporating something. So I just think it's important to share why you're doing it and why that works for you, because it's going to generate with people that way. But a little tip, I obviously have my husband as one of my coaches. And so I will be purchasing, and you're allowed to have your spouse and one other family member that you actually pay for. It's on the same credit card or something. So my husband's account is really me. It's all the same. He doesn't run it. I run it. It says his name. It says Team Finck. That's it. But I will actually be purchasing hammer and chisel under him, not through me. And why would I do that? Because it's the same discounted price for us as a family. He's a coach. He gets the 25% off. I'm not losing anything by purchasing through him, but he gets the personal volume. That's going to keep him active. So I don't need to keep active. I have plenty of people that purchase things underneath me. I have regular Shakeology people. I don't need to worry about it. but his account isn't quite as active. So it's a good idea to think about those kinds of things. If you have maybe a one-time purchaser and you have your spouse under you at some point, I know you don't right now, but eventually you probably will. Think about those kinds of things to put volume underneath you, because he gets the benefit and you get the volume, which turns into team bonuses later. So just other ways to kind of think about when you make a purchase for yourself, to maybe not do it necessarily through your own account down the line when you're adding your spouse to an account if you decide to do that. Okay. So that's my little tip on that. Oh yeah, one last thing on this. How much time am I? I'm yapping, Jesus. Beachbody on Demand. If you guys all have club memberships, so Beachbody on Demand is accessible to you, included in that for that $2.99 a week. There are already 2 preview workouts for Hammer and Chisel. I've done both of them. They are great. It's one of the reasons why I definitely wanted this workout. So even if you decide I'm not ready to purchase Hammer and Chisel, I think it's really important that you at least preview the workouts through the Beachbody on Demand. So Beachbody on Demand has ones that you've purchased you can access all the time, and then they have free ones. And part of the free ones are previews to some of their more recent programs. So they actually put one up from Sagi and one up from Autumn, which I think it was awesome. So, even if you just scan through it a little bit to get a little bit of a feel for what they are, so that you can speak to somebody a little bit better when they're asking you questions. I took video of myself doing it so I could post some things. If you're not comfortable with that, you don't have to, but I still think it's important that you had at least watched it at some point, or parts of it, scan through it so you can say, oh yeah, this was kind of how it was. I don't like posting too much of maybe a stock photo, a Beachbody photo of Hammer and Chisel when you're promoting it. I'd rather you be more creative, because I think it comes off very, very salesy. You look like you're Beachbody. You're not. Mm-hmm. You're you. And why are you a coach? Why does this program interest you is more the thing. If you threw up Sagi and Autumn and Hammer and Chisel, you look like you're Beachbody corporate, don't you? I mean, it comes off, it's a little off-putting, I think. So try to stay away from those sorts of things. I'd rather you be creative and come up with, I think I did something like, I had it's here picture. And then I talked about it a little bit, as opposed to sticking a picture of Sagi and Autumn up there. You know what I'm saying? All right. I'm done with Hammer and Chisel for sure this time. The only other thing I really, really just wanted to touch on tonight, and we've got some time, so we can take some questions for sure. But Becky, some of us have been reading The Secret. I don't know if you've ever read that, but I know, Diet, you and I have been reading that.
That's what I hear?
Yes, you've got it, The Secret. And it's all about the positive mindset and attracting what you focus on. And that can be positive or negative. So you have that scenario, where you wake up in the morning and you get in the car, and you're already running late, and the garage door won't open, and then you spill the coffee in your lap, and then you hit the train, and a sequence of events, all negative. Well, because one started and you focused on the negative. Vice versa, you focus on the positive, on being grateful and thinking about those positive things, and your whole day can change and be positive from that. So I really have found thinking along those lines, and it's the more of not it's gonna happen is it is happening. And Henry Ford has an awesome quote, and being from the Detroit area, my dad retired from Ford, but he says, and I'm probably not getting it exactly right, but if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And I love that. I mean, It's really about your way of thinking to do it. So
I have a perfect example for that.
Please.
Okay, bear with me if I cry because it just so much happened. Cristine, you know, I've been struggling just working part-time. I've had medical bills and I've been having that, how am I going to pay for them? What am I going to do? And then I just, all of a sudden the other day I got a bill from my doctor's practice and it says, oh, if you don't pay this, you're going to go to collections. And I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And I was like, oh, you know what? I just stressed. And then my company Christmas party was coming up and I was like, I know they gave, and it sounds really weird how we already had a Christmas party and it just was Thanksgiving, but they gave away $1,000 door prize. And I was like, oh, please, please, please let me get it. You know, it would help so much. And of course I left there completely empty handed, didn't even get a door prize, nothing. And I left there kind of heavy hearted. And I was like, you know what? Something's going to happen. I know it's going to be taken care of. I'm just going to let it go. It's Christmas. I'm not going to stress over it because if I stress over it, my kids are going to see it. You know what? It's going to happen. Somehow or another, it's going to happen. Monday morning, I get in my office and my boss comes in and he sits down and I'm thinking, oh, great. Well, he hands me a Christmas card. Inside that Christmas card was a $50 check. That right there was just a little bit of bonus. And then he goes, oh, I want to let you know. He goes, we're going to give you extra hours from now on. So you're going to get some more responsibilities, which like increases my paycheck. That helps pay off some bills. And he goes, plus you're going to get a $500 bonus on your next paycheck.
Oh my
and
God.
I was just like, oh my goodness. That just basically paid, that it definitely paid that bill that they said we're going to go in collections, and it paid off one more and part of another one. And so I was like, okay, well, that's good. And then like, you know, Christmas is coming up and I was looking at a bike for my son and I was like, found the one I liked. And I was just like, you know, when my husband and I said, okay, put a limit of $150, and the bike I found was like $219. And I'm like, okay. And I'm sitting there at work and I'm like on my break and I'm like, you know, I'm going to go on where it's at. It happened to be on Cyber Monday for $99.99.
That's awesome.
I was like, after I saw that, I was just like, oh my God. I'm like, I called my mom. I'm like, do you ever have so much happen that you just want to get down on your knees and thank God? You know, it was just, I couldn't. Yeah. So good.
Well, I can't beat your example. That's been a great week.
Yeah.
That's a great week. But see how that mindset, I think as we go, especially into Christmas time, you know, we just came off Thanksgiving and it's all about honestly thinking about the things that are really important, and a sale is not that important, you know.
No.
What, you know, it's not about that. You guys know that. I mean, I don't think you'd be on my team if you felt that. But I think it's just a good reminder that we're going into we're in that season of really looking at the bigger picture and helping people, helping ourselves, and, you know, doing the right thing regardless, you know, giving without the expectation of anything coming back to us. And it's funny how when you genuinely do that, how things come back to you. And that's just a wonderful example. So thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. That's awesome.
Also falls in, you know, how I said, I kind of, you know, when I signed up to coach, I first started it, you know, I thought, well, maybe I can do this. You know, I even struggled. Should I do it? Should I not do it? And I didn't tell my husband because I was, you know, I've had the exes where they're like, oh, I don't want you to fail at this. Like you've done other things in the past. So I just kept it quiet. And I was like, and it weighed on me a lot. And I finally said, you know what, I'm going to do this. I even told Cristine that I'm looking for a desk. So I have a desk space. So it makes it my own office. I ended up telling my husband the night before we had to pick up the desk. And he was totally supportive. And actually, I'll pull it off the wall here. He made me the sign, if you can read it. It says, her spirit knew she could. She said, I will. And so she did. And
he made that for you?
He made this. He went and got the little stickers and put it all together. It kind of goes with the sign that we saw that same, you know, the day that we went and got the desk and everything. And he saw it and I said, oh, I really like that. And he couldn't figure out how to get back down to the store where we were without me figuring it out. So he goes, like 3 nights later, he goes, by the way, I'm going to be doing something over here on the kitchen table and you can't come over there. And I was like, okay. And so later that night, I was in getting my daughter ready for bed, and he's like, okay, come here. And he's like grabbing my hand and he's pulling me into the bedroom. And I'm thinking, hey, what are you doing? And he had the frame sitting on my desk and everything for me. And I'm like, he made me cry and everything. And I'm just, something about this last week and a half has just been like so tenfold of everything working out. So
love that. That's awesome. I love those kind of stories. Those are fantastic. So yes, it works.
Yeah.
It works. That's really, I just want to leave, was my whole goal, to leave this night on a positive note and just get you geared up for December. As much as you guys can absorb in December and realize this is a tough month, I think, as far as, getting some people in the mindset for getting fit.
Yeah.
So many things else are on their mind, understandably so.
And more treats than usual.
Right.
I was going to say, it's December 26th where we're going to get them.
No, but absolutely. But in that same vein, I think it's very, very important that we are doing those vital behaviors and doing those invites. I don't know if you guys saw, but I'm going to do a sneak peek next week into coaching. So if you have anybody, invite to that. It's free. It's a few days to just maybe learn a little bit. But the idea during this month is still be doing the invites, still be planting those seeds, because they more than likely will say no. And I did a video last month of, I'm getting a ton of no's, right? But that's okay. I'm getting no's because I'm at least inviting and talking with people and saying, no, not right now. But how many of those people have actually also then said, I think I'll be ready in January, because I just don't want to put something else on their plate right now. Mm-hmm. But you don't want to be waiting until January 1st to be having that first connection with them about, I'm going to have a group going. You want to be talking with them now, because none of us, very rarely do people, you approach them and say, hey, I've got a group going, you interested? And they go, yeah, absolutely. I'll pay whatever. No problem. I'm in. That doesn't happen. It's a process. So you want to be talking to people. Don't waste the month of December, I guess is what I'm saying. Don't think that because someone is unlikely. Number one, you don't know until you ask. You cannot read people's minds. And I have learned this more ways than one. The people that I thought, they'll never join, they'll never want to do something. And then you talk to them, they're like, yeah, why didn't you talk to me about this 2 months ago? I'm like, I don't know. Why didn't I talk to you about this 2 months ago? So you learn as you go, of course, but don't be afraid. Keep putting it out there. Keep talking to people, being helpful. This is a great month to do maybe some healthier recipe ideas. Maybe a free group.
I figured out my first group.
Yes.
We're going to talk about it. I'm just going to do a simple food journaling group just for a week. Okay. Just get people to start maybe food journaling, just that way they can see what they're eating just before the holidays. And I'm going to do the same thing and take pictures of it so they can see, hey, this is exactly what I'm doing. I'm doing the same thing as you are. And just for, a week, because we talked about just doing a small one for my very first one and something simple like that. And then make sure, because I do my Shakeology every morning, that'll be up there. And that way that they say, hey, what's that? It's right there.
Great idea. Something very basic for December, I think, is great. Something short is great. People don't have the attention span this month, and it's understandable. I would go 3 to 5 days max on something. Yeah. But yeah, journal, that's great. So maybe get people in the habit of just doing a few little things, but nothing that's going to add so much to their plate that they're going to say,
just say, hey, do your best. This is your goal. They always say, journal what you, we're all so bad about, not realizing what we put in our mouth. Write it down. I've got, my little book here. That's going to be my food journal, so that way they can say, hey, it's 50-cent, little composition book,
Absolutely. No, great idea. And yeah, you don't have to overcomplicate these things. Like I said, even a little 3-day of something that motivates you, that you think you could get people on board completely for free. It's a great way to, number one, get you used to the invite process, because there's no risk, right?
Yeah.
It's, hey, it's completely free. I just want to do this. I'm doing it. Come join me. And it's easy to do that. You can, do it a little event if you wanted to invite everyone that's on your Facebook and say, hey, I'm doing this free little thing for 3 days. Come join me, and, do it Tuesday to Thursday, something like that, right in the middle of the week where you're not going to interfere with holiday shopping and everything like that. But absolutely be creative. You don't have to do the standard thing that you may see. I have templates for healthy menu groups. I have templates for Shakeology groups, but that doesn't mean that's what you need to do by any means. They're there just to assist you if that helps you. And I like the idea, especially in December, to not be doing anything too overly cumbersome because people just have so many things going on. Yet, you want to be doing something so that you have, what I have always found is if I don't have something going on, it's so hard to talk to people because there's nothing to talk to them and invite them to. So I always want to have something free going on. I don't want to do it free every week. That doesn't help. I can't be giving up that much time. But free groups get people talking. It gets people interested. It gives you some experience in inviting, figuring out how to do that, and gives you starting a relationship. And so many of my future customers and coaches have come from these free groups because it just gave me a pathway to start conversing with them. And that's really what it is, finding the people that you're compatible with. And that's where you have your best customers and your best coaches, people that you click with. They're just, all right, 10 minutes. Okay, no problem. It just popped up.
I have 2 questions when you're done.
No, I think that was really it. I just wanted to, that's pretty much it. So yeah, please go. We got 10 minutes for questions.
So if you do the free group, these groups are usually on Facebook, right? They're like Facebook groups.
That's how I've done it. It seems to be the easiest thing because Facebook is sort of set up for these groups, and I do them as closed groups.
Yeah.
So that only the people that have joined will see those posts.
Right. So what if you have somebody that would like to be in a group but they don't do Facebook? Then would you just kind of one-on-one talk to them and tell them what's going on, or what?
Yeah, it gets a little tricky. Beachbody has been beta testing, and frankly, off the top of my head, I'm not sure if it's actually live yet. But they have an app that they've been beta testing, and if it's not live right now, it's supposed to.
No, it's not.
Okay, it's coming up that they're going to have a Beachbody app, because a lot of people are finding people on Instagram, and a lot of Instagrammers aren't Facebook people.
Right.
So what I've done is just said, can you throw it up? I mean, make a partial name just for the purpose of the group. You don't have to be active in Facebook, but can you join in? And most people, won't put their profile up and just will do, a part name so that the whole world doesn't know them, just to get into the group. So I haven't had too much of an issue with people that really do want to come in the group. They've been willing to come up, just to get on Facebook on a very basic level, not to invite the whole world in, just to get into the group. But if it's not up yet, it's coming very, very soon. Is it going to be a Beachbody app specifically where you could shoot out and put your posts basically through that, and you can have accountability. Say, hey, did you drink your Shakeology day? What did you do here? I saw a little bit about it at the last Super Saturday, but it's coming. So those will be options for you. I know people that have tried to set up the groups maybe on Pinterest, and I don't know. I mean, Pinterest and Instagram just don't have the best platforms, I think, to do the groups. So I've stuck strictly with Facebook, and I know you just joined. So there is scheduling opportunities through Hootsuite, Buffer. I'm
loving Hootsuite, by the way.
You do?
Oh, yes.
Okay, good. Hootsuite, Buffer, and there's another one. And
Hootsuite a website or an app?
It's a website, and
Hootsuite does have an app.
It does have an app. Yes, you're right. But you can pre-schedule Facebook posts, and actually now on Instagram and Twitter and everything else, you can pre-schedule posts for your personal page and your groups, because your groups all are run on your personal page. So
personal fitness page or like my page?
Your page.
Okay.
Well, I started my own personal fitness page. I took all my friends, I kind of made it where I said, hey, this is my journey. This is my new page. If you want to join it, it's public. And that's where I've kind of switched my personal Facebook page. Whoever wants to come over to that page, that way, because my Facebook page has been around forever and I didn't want to have to try to go back through and seal everything up and do everything. So I kind of have just been, every now and then I'll post on my personal Facebook page, hey, this is my new public one. This is what's going on. Like I decided today I'm going to do that food journaling one. So tomorrow I'll probably be doing a thing. Hey, this is what I'm going to be doing. If you want to join me to support one another, come like this page. And then, when you tag yourself as a friend, because when you friend yourself on that other page, you can tag that person, I can tag in Del Fitness on my personal page, and then they can just link that link to request friendship.
Okay.
Or you can add the like page as well and keep that all fitness, but you can't do groups on a like page.
Oh.
Schedule, you can advertise, you can do things like that, which is great, but you can't do your groups. Your groups always have to go back to a personal page.
Okay. Okay, well, one other question then. So if you start a free group and then you want to move into a sponsored group or whatever, how do you move those people and just give them the stipulations? Like, we're going to be doing Shakeology, we're going to be doing like whatever workout and whatever the theme of that group is or whatever.
Yeah, what I usually do is at the end of the free group, I'll say, hey, listen, let's say I did a free healthy menu group. And by the way, if you do want something like that, all the posts, and I have 5 or 6, 7 menus that I've prepped that are all at your disposal. And I have the posts there too that you can grab. But towards the last day or two, I say, hey, listen, if you enjoy what we were doing here, I have an Elite Get Fit group or the Downsize in December group, whatever you happen to call it that month. Those are the groups that I say, ideally, I want them drinking Shakeology and I want them doing a program, because that's where you see the results. And I find if you don't do the combination, they're getting mediocre results and then they get discouraged. Mm-hmm. So I try to do it, hey, commit to 30 days and you've got the money back guarantee and all that good thing. But yes, I promote it at the end of the free group and say, this is what I'm doing. Now, I may not go into full details necessarily. I may say, if you liked what was going on here, we're doing this, but we're doing it for 30 days. And it's going to be a lot more accountability, but we're going to have a lot more support and motivation. So comment below with your email, message me if you'd like more info. And then I do it on the back end through personal messaging. So okay. I don't always throw it all out there in the post. I'd rather just say, hey, does this interest you? Contact me and let's talk so that we can talk more about their needs and what they're looking for. Maybe they already have a Beachbody program and all they really need is to add Shakeology. Okay, fine. You want to use an Insanity program that you never took off the shelf? I'm good with that. Mm-hmm. Maybe you're ready for a whole challenge pack, but I like to take that kind of off the post. I sort of just do 1 or 2 posts towards the end, inviting them to, hey, if you liked what you saw here, we can continue this in a 30-day format. And I almost always do those on 30 days just so you don't overwhelm people again. And if they want to keep on it, fine, go in the next month. But that's kind of how I do that.
Okay.
What else? We've got 2.5 minutes.
I bought my ticket for Super Saturday today.
Did you?
I did, my first one.
Woo! Congrats. Awesome. That's great. All right. We'll be seeing you in Nashville, girl.
I hope.
You'll get there.
Super Saturday.
Super Saturday.
Super Saturday.
Oh, yeah. Super Saturday. So it's going to be January 6th, I think? 9th. Okay. Super Saturdays they do them quarterly in your neck of the woods that changes a little bit, but it's actually, it's a Beachbody. One of the top coaches in your area will do a group, and the January ones are usually super cool. January one last year, we had the CEO Carl Deichler and Autumn Calabrese come to Tampa. So it was really awesome. You could do a workout. I didn't stay for it, but I could have taken a picture with Autumn. I didn't stay for that either. I was like, I don't want to wait in line. Which now I regret completely. I'm like, oh,
I don't think I would want to stand next to her.
I'm like, what? Yeah, I know, right? I know.
A quarter of myself.
From like here up, like that's it.
Yeah.
I don't want to see her body or anything, but yeah, it's an. I do it quarterly, and sometimes you get the bigger celebrities, I guess, in Beachbody, but otherwise, and they'll do before and after success stories. It's just like a really good camaraderie thing for coaches, and usually you can always find something in your local area. And yeah, the next one will be early January, and what's really cool about that one is that they'll talk about what's coming up for 2016. So I already know we've got a new program from Tony Horton called the 22-minute hardcore or something. That's going to be coming up in February. So they're going to promote.
Oh, it's like a boot camp, right? I think I saw that.
Yep, exactly. So, yeah, super excited. I was thinking, you were talking about the annual.
Oh, no, not there yet. But yeah.
That's all right. But yeah, good thing. I think the more you get involved,